tell us about your journey and the journey that PMI particularly have had in terms of innovation? So how have you changed your approach to fit in and create this culture of innovation?
So during the last years, Olympia, we have been profoundly altering the strategy of PMI. Before, PMI was a tailor-make premix company, and there is a lot of merit in this model. But this is also a model that other parts of our company are doing and even better than us. So we have dramatically changed our approach. We started identifying 3 spaces and focusing on them rather than trying to work on every feed additive space. We also have focused on the final markets we want to work, and we are now working on poultry and swine only. We appreciate that PMI is and will be a small company, and we want to be focused on 3 spaces and 2 species. And in these spaces and species, we own our products and concepts. We discover ideas, grow them into concept, and then develop the products. So we started working on what will be our value proposition on these spaces. This was our innovation strategy. We communicated to our team so that everybody could see this power narrative and relate to it. Then we mapped the value chain of these propositions and all the tasks that were needed to be performed to get this proposition executed. But those who were strategic, but we didn't own them, we had to create the capabilities how to do these tasks. So there we resisted the urge of doing everything by ourselves, and instead we used technology scouting to understand the external ecosystem and identify partners of choice out of our traditional radar with whom we would collaborate to get our value proposition executed. Then after this collaboration were set up, we created upstream innovation capabilities and we started the work. And that is an exploration agenda. Our company has already very strong R&D groups, but to execute our PMI plan, which is an exploration agenda, it required capabilities that we as Land O'Lakes didn't have to this point.
So I know that you've focused particularly on plant-based feed additives as well. So what do these changes mean for the way that you're approaching the development of your phytogenic feed additives? I know you referred to a few things in the last answer, but I'd like to delve a bit deeper into your plant-based feed additives portfolio.
So one of the spaces we identified is Phytogenics, and as you just mentioned, we recently launched a brand called Supplant. The approach that I described just before was applied in the case of Phytogenics. So first we decided what will be our value proposition, final value proposition. Then we discovered that some of the tasks we needed to do were strategic, but we didn't have the capability internally to perform them. This is when we scanned the ecosystem to find a partner of choice with whom to work and in order to perform this task and eventually our value proposition. Then we created an innovation platform that we populated with a number of projects, and these projects are now being done. Importantly, we are fostering a high level of transparency and cooperation in our team that involves everyone in our group, and this includes salespeople as well as customers.
So can you tell us about the Supplant Phytogenic platform and what makes it unique?
So our Supplant Phytogenic platform is unique because it organically integrates a new paradigm of creation of phytogenic additives. So if you go back in time when antibiotic growth promoters were banned as early as 1999 and early 2000 in some European countries, everyone, and this includes the people who developed phytogenics, looked for substances with antimicrobial properties. The speculation was that antibiotic killed pathogenic bacteria when included in feed at the growth promotion dose, so we needed to find antimicrobial compounds. And most, if not all, phytogenic additives present in the market today were selected because they showed strong antimicrobial effect. With the progress of science and technology in the last 15 years, people have progressively realized that these products, but also antibiotic growth promoters actually, were showing other functions besides the antimicrobial effect. But these new functions, such as anti-inflammatory, digestive secretion, and others, they are secondary, as the primary outcome of this selected compound was the one they were originally screened for, and this was antimicrobial. And here, Olympia, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of merit in this approach. And not only that, but some of these products are now best sellers, and they helped create and then shape this segment of the feed additive market. It is a great approach. It is not the one we are following at PMI. We believe that phytogenics have other functions that can be exploited. We believe that because plants and animals have a long history of coevolution, then phytogenic compounds can be used to positively alter animals' physiology in a way that is beneficial for animal production, health, and welfare. And for this, we are focusing on physiological outcomes of the target animals, and we are selecting compounds based on these outcomes.
I really agree with what you've said there. And something that you've highlighted is how much, I suppose, potential plant-based additives really do have. There's some real opportunities here. So I want to ask you specifically, what potential do you see for plant-based additives in general, and also for your Supplant platform? What is the potential for your customers, but also the wider animal nutrition industry?
Yeah, so I wouldn't have said it better, Olympia. I'm a big fan, I'm a big supporter of phytogenics. I believe that well researched and explored, they will be a central piece in growing food animals without synthetic compounds, drugs, in a way that is respectful of the whole ecosystem. I also think that these products have not yet found their steady state development or where they should be in the market. And there are several reasons. First, phytogenics are not alternative technologies to antibiotic growth promoters. They are a standalone category, and actually, some companies have even shown that you can use it on top of antibiotic growth promoters, showing that what they are doing is different, and it is valuable for the production. They are that standalone category with their own positioning. The second reason would be that phytogenic is a vague product category, with people believing that one plant additive A equal another plant additive B just because they are phytogenic plant additives. I feel that that vagueness has created a certain inconsistency when it comes to then visualizing the effect of phytogenics in practice when it comes to improving animal performance. And especially since we know now at the molecular level that what certain phytogenic compounds do is radically different than what other phytogenic compounds will do. But yet the final observation on the farm animal may be the same: improved feed conversion, increased milk yield. But the mechanism by which this productive performance outcome is improved may be profoundly different. So we could improve the practical consistency of those phytogenic products if we better know what they trigger. And this opens the possibility for some phytogenics to be used in some contexts and not others. So for example, many people today speak about personalized nutrition or precision nutrition for farm animals. So well, here we go. This is it. Phytogenics should be much better described and positioned in certain contexts, not all, because we want to feed farm animals with precision. And there are some historical examples. I mean, for example, enzymes. That's a very known and established feed additive category. And for any monogastric nutritionist today, it will be obvious that an enzyme product is not necessarily equivalent to another enzyme product. Although in the same additive category, enzymes, product will have radically different targets and will be used in different contexts. Obviously, one will think about phytase versus non-starch polysaccharide degrading enzymes. Both are enzyme products, but they have different use, obviously. But even in the more subtle non-starch polysaccharide degrading enzyme family, products can be very different depending on which specific non-starch polysaccharide they will degrade. And consistency in the enzyme application across the industry came with clarity on what specific target or substrate these enzymes were degrading. Consistency came when people stopped thinking that one enzyme equal another enzyme, and the education of the industry about enzymes helped that transition. It is the same for phytogenic feed additives. Although they may all increase production, they will trigger it by very different responses. And knowing these responses will help practitioners better position and use these products, hence improving their consistency and eventually their acceptance. And this is what we are achieving in PMI with our Supplant platform.
I agree with you, and I think that's why this group has so much potential, because there are, different modes of action. There's also so many plant extracts and ingredients that we haven't investigated yet.
Yeah.
Of all kind of the I suppose the sectors in our industry, plant-based is certainly the one that I think everyone is really honing in on and thinking this is the one that's going to really answer hopefully a lot of our problems, our challenges moving forward. So, I mean, thinking about moving forward, what are your next plans in terms of innovation? What are your, I suppose, next steps for PMI when you're looking to the future?
The true innovation journey, to be honest with you, Olympia, is a long and difficult one for all the difficulties that I have exposed before, and also because it requires out-of-the-box vision. It requires iconoclastic proposals, and although everybody in LinkedIn will look for out-of-the-box people and proposals, in reality, when it comes to looking at it, nobody wants out of the box. They want into the box things, And whoever engages with the complexity of the exploration needs to remain humble. We've been, us at Land O'Lakes and PMI, we've been reflecting and organizing our approach a lot. We've been working a lot, and now we are executing it. It is a difficult journey, but we are making progress, and we are working now on finalizing our second space, and we will soon start communicating on it.
Fantastic. I think that's a nice optimistic future there. As you say, it's a very long journey, but I'm sure that you will get to the position where you do feel comfortable in terms of where you are and you are executing your full innovation strategy to the fullest. So thank you so much, David, for your insight into this area. I actually think what we've discussed today has been quite informative, but also very inspiring. So I hope that everyone watching will, approach some of your projects maybe a little differently now, with a slightly different mindset and a way of thinking as well. So thank you all for watching, and we hope that you join us for future videos from Feedinfo.